Everybody, come follow me. Steak, egg, and cheese burrito today. Taco for breakfast. Steak, egg, and cheese taco. Thank you. Okay, guys, my smoked meat is in here. This is so delicious. It's got potatoes, green peppers. All my smoked meat is in here. It falls off the bone. That's how good it is, y'all. Fall off the bone. Smoked meat. Okay. Now I'm gonna go enjoy my dinner. Y'all have a good day. Love all. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, everybody, this is my dinner for today. Mashed potatoes and baked pork chops for dinner. I just chopped it up, cut it up, baked pork chops for dinner. Yeah, I'm so slow, but yeah, I know how to cook. Have a good day, everybody. Bye. So everybody, here's my baked macaroni and cheese. It's not all the way done yet. I use evaporated milk, a little bit of milk. I use 3 small eggs, and I did with the milk, and this is how it's coming out so far. This is the baked macaroni and cheese that we're making with our dinner, because I hope this tutorial does help you. And I did tell you how I did it. Now I'm showing you. There you go. So I just put all the stuff together after the noodles were half boiled. Then I done. Okay. There you go. And then we're gonna spray it out on our device, put it in a pan, and then let it bake. Put our mozzarella on top, and then it should be done in about 45 minutes. Okay, bye. Hi everybody, here's my deviled eggs that I was telling y'all about. Deviled eggs, all finished, cracked. And this is how deviled eggs are supposed to be. Okay, here's the finished product. Okay, bye. Hi everybody, it's your girl Candy. This is my meal from yesterday. Some of my stuff that we had. We had a cheese ball, pretzel bites. We had these beef sticks right here. We had egg rolls. We had pizza rolls, and that's it. This is the plate that we had. Pizza bites, and we had just bread and cheese. Yesterday, this don't have no cheese on it no more, but it did. So bread and cheese, and yeah, pizza rolls and pretzel bites, and we had egg rolls and these beef things, beef sticks, and we had beef patties too. Jamaican beef patties. They were good. And I'm eating the rest of my homemade potatoes with cheese. Okay? Okay? This is how much I'm doing. Next, like I said, go with your heart. Mustard. Shake it up. Shake the mustard up. You just want to use a tad bit of mustard. Don't use a lot. Just use a tad. About that much. A couple of drops. Honey. You don't want to use a lot of that. Okay, honey. This is honey I'm using, but I like a certain brand of honey, but this is not the brand I like, but that's all we have, okay? We're using what we have. Okay, just a little bit of honey, because we got a lot of the sugars are going in, so just a tiny bit of honey. Then we're putting in syrup. I think we got the other syrup down there. It's already opened. We're going to use, oh no, we can use that one. Doesn't really matter, but we're going to use this. Now, none of my stuff is sugar-free, so you can use sugar-free sugar. You do not have to use what I use. I use regular sugars and whatever you choose to use. Use whatever makes you happy. Don't do what I do, because you might be in a hospital with diabetes. But I don't use a lot of honey. I don't use a lot of sugar, brown sugar. Do what makes you happy, basically. Okay? We're going to use honey. I mean, we're going to use syrup. A little bit of that going in. Okay, ready? Now we're going to use a little bit of brown sugar going in. I don't measure eyeball. Like I said, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. And I usually put butter in this, but we're not going to put butter in this one. I melt some butter usually and put it in there, but we're not going to do that to this one. Usually I do. But butter's the only thing that we would be missing. We would have to go with a little butter and put it in there. But we're not going to do that this time. 2 spoonfuls of regular sugar. I eyeball it what I want for my sugars. This is regular sugar, by the way, not Splenda, not anything else. 2 spoonfuls. And this is my new container I'm using. And I got my flour one in the back. Okay. And then we use vanilla extract, a little bit of that. We don't want a lot, but do what makes you happy. Okay, a couple drops of that. And we're going to use a little bit of lemon. And we're going to get some cold water going. We're going to use a little bit of cold water. So everything will be blending in. I'm making my barbecue sauce for years. Well, not for years, but this is how, ever since I've been living on my own, this is how I make it. And I love doing this. This is my recipe for my homemade barbecue sauce. You can put more ketchup in it. If you feel it's too watery or you don't like it like that, you want more, do it, like I said, eyeball it, because this is my texture. This is what I like. Somebody else may not like it, you know? This is my texture, and I taste it, and if I like it, I'll do it. If I want more ketchup, if I want to add something, you always can add it, but you can't take it out. I'll already run with that. Okay? I can put everything in there. I just put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's how I make my barbecue sauce. See? And it's all made up. That's Hi, everybody. This is your girl, Candy. Unfortunately, I could not cube up the roast. This roast has to go in the crock pot. Unfortunately, it's seasoned all the way through, around, everywhere. This is the roast. It will not be ready till tomorrow. Unfortunately, and the mashed potatoes will not be ready until tomorrow. So this dinner is for a whole nother day tomorrow. Roast and mashed potatoes tomorrow. Okay, everybody. Have a good day. And tonight we're having mac and cheese. Okay, bye. We are making the Alfredo sauce, and I promise y'all that we melted a half a stick of butter. Now we're going to pour it half and half in there. We made our shrimp. I just sauteed the shrimp real quick. And we put that much in there. We didn't put half. We put a little bit of it in there. We're going to wait till that gets creamed up. Wait till we stir it up. We just keep stirring until it gets the thick consistency that we want. And then we just let it stir up. And then we're going to put the black pepper in there. We're going to keep it stirring until we get the consistency that we want. Put the black pepper in there. We're going to put all the same seasonings that we put in the other one in the shrimp. We're going to wait until that comes to a boil. Wait till it gets the consistency that we want. Okay. And then we just wait till we get to consistency that we want. We got to keep stirring until we get to thick consistency that we want. And then that's how we do it. We just gotta keep stirring until we get to the consistency that we want. See, we got this is the creamy stuff that we do. We splash out the pot. It's mandated to splash out the pot, y'all. Mandated. So yeah, we're making shrimp Alfredo. I told y'all about it yesterday. If the ones that forgot, we're making shrimp Alfredo. This is the Alfredo sauce that we are making with heavy cream. Shrimp Alfredo. With the heavy cream in there. We put a half a stick of butter, some pepper, and some onion powder. And we did it just like that. And we're just stirring it until it gets the consistency that we need. And then once we get that, we'll be good. We're making shrimp Alfredo. For all the ones that keep wondering what you're making, shrimp Alfredo. So I hope that helps. For anybody that wants to learn how to make shrimp Alfredo sauce, all you need is a half a stick of butter. That's what we use. We use a half a stick of butter. We use some whole cream. This is what we used. Okay? That's what we used. And then we let it come to a simmer. See how that's coming to a simmer? That's what you want. You want it to come to a simmer, just like this. You just gotta keep stirring until you get that thick consistency. Keep stirring until you get that thick consistency. It's getting there. We're trying to get that thick consistency. It's coming to that way. We gotta keep going. But that's what you gotta do when we make the Alfredo sauce. You just gotta keep stirring it until you get that thick consistency, until you get it to where you want it to be in consistency mode. You don't want it too milky, and you don't want it too thick, and you don't want it too runny. So you just want to try to make it as thick as possible. Let it get to the consistency that you want. And we are making shrimp Alfredo once again, shrimp Alfredo. And then once it gets to the thick consistency that you want, you pour your shrimp back over in there, you stir it all together, and then eventually we'll come to and then you're done. Because you gotta make it so where it can. Because that's what we do. We make it to the. Because this is how you want it. You want it to be thick. You don't want it to be too. This is how you want it. You want it to be thick, and you want to keep stirring it until you get it to the thick consistency that you want. And then we pour our shrimp back over in there once it gets to the consistency that I'm happy with. And then we do. We put a splash of regular milk in there. We just get it to the consistency that we want. Like I was saying, it's going to take a minute to get to the consistency that we want. We put the butter in there. We put it in there. We just keep stirring until we get to the consistency that we want. So always note that you can make your homemade Alfredo sauce just like I'm doing with just this stuff, heavy cream. And you use a half a stick of butter. I just use a half a stick of butter. I use a whole stick. I use a half a stick of butter. And you just keep stirring it. Put your seasons in your Alfredo sauce as you want to. Do as you will with it. It's your Alfredo sauce, but whatever you choose to put in your sauce. But this is what I do. I just did some black pepper, some onion powder. That's all I did. And it's going to turn out fantastic. It's coming to the head. It's coming to what we want. It's coming there. It's getting there. It's getting to what we want. It's getting thicker. That's what we're looking for, the thickness. That's what we want. That's the thickness. So this is what we want, the thickness. Let me put the... We'll do the last, very last. Okay, guys, I'll come back with the finished product. I showed you how I made it. This is my homemade Alfredo sauce. We're just waiting until it gets for thick consistency. The shrimp is already made too. I just pre-prepped the shrimp for a little bit. I seasoned it. I put butter. I did put butter, a little bit of oil at the bottom of the pan, pepper, a spoonful of garlic, and seasonings, obey, onion seasoning, and that's... Hello, everybody. This is my dessert from yesterday: peanut butter with chocolate kiss, my chocolate cake, my powdered sugar donut, a little cake, a little heart Valentine's cookie, and a chocolate cake with white frosting on it. Okay, talk to you later. Come follow, come share. These are all the things that I had yesterday at my thing. Okay, bye. It is so good.